Welcome to episode 4 of the Hammer and Sports podcast under the Ramblin and Gamblin Sports family. I want to say hi to our other co-host here, Charlie. How are you holding up, man?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad. Obviously, been holed up at home with COVID and just working on some school stuff, normal shit.
Yeah, same for me.
All right, we'll dive right into the NFL from this week. We had an absolutely amazing game Sunday night. Had the Cardinals and the Seahawks go to overtime. And what an exciting game this one. Cardinals pull it out 37-34. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no, definitely a good game. It was nice having the Cards at plus 3.5 there. They had to make it a little stressful, but, it paid out.
Yeah, and I think the Cardinals being down 10 late, Kyler Murray with the late interception, actually, and then their ability to rebound from that, I think that's just – it really shows that this team isn't the Cardinals of the last few seasons where they've really struggled to win games, and to do it against the Seahawks with Russell Wilson, who's normally so good in the clutch, for him to throw an interception in the overtime. Defense came up huge twice in the overtime, even after Zane Gonzalez played hero and then almost GOAT and then ended up being the hero again with the field goal.
Yeah, no, it really helped them. They got 15-yard penalty on the 4th and 12. They kicked the field goal on. I think the score was, what was it, 34-21. They kicked the field goal and then they got the first down. That you got to think that's the big shift in the game, right? They don't get a touchdown there, they're probably not winning the game.
It's weird too. Like the penalty they got was like the relatively new like leveraging call, but like you should know you can't like jump over guys like that anymore. Like it's a relatively known rule that you can't do that.
Yeah,
I just think it was a bonehead move by the guy in Seattle.
Yeah, that just kind of sucks. Mind you, there's like they still had a pretty good lead after that, but
yeah, you still expect especially with Wilson. He's a seasoned veteran, he should be able to close out the game. But I think Seattle is a little bit vulnerable. Kind of show that their defense isn't like the greatest, and especially with Chris Carson going down for them, the jury's still kind of out on him for how long he's going to be out or if he's going to be out. I think the Seahawks have some holes on defense, especially Kyler Murray picked them apart pretty good. Mind you, he does have the throw with his legs. Kenyon Drake, Chase Edmonds came up pretty big for them as well, but. It just shows that I think Seattle can be beaten, and maybe by even like a better team than Arizona can really shut them down if Russ isn't clicking on certain nights.
Oh yeah, no, they can definitely be beaten. Their defense has been kind of under question for most of the season, so I'm not necessarily surprised that the Cardinals put points on them, but for them to put them up the way they did, I guess like with the penalties and some late points as well. But you kind of expect like that team. You expect the offense to carry. So, and
for sure.
And 34 points isn't bad. It wasn't enough.
Yeah, for sure. I think Russ he had a good game basically for I'd say like 15/16 of the game, and then he kind of imploded on himself a little bit. I don't know if this is going to hurt his MVP standings, because I'm not exactly sure who's going to rival him right now. Like you could even argue Kyler Murray can kind of vault up into that conversation a little bit after this game too.
Yeah, like he threw 3 picks, and I think the one that really hurts was obviously overtime. That goes without saying, but the one where DK ended up catching Budda Baker. Like that would have been a touchdown drive because they were inside the 5. He threw a pick there, which was pretty big for them. If you don't throw a pick there, you get some points. You probably don't even worry about the Cardinals coming back. Like the lead should be too big at that point.
Yeah, it was weird because both these teams, like obviously they put a lot of points, but it seems like a lot of points were left on the board as well. So like this game could have been 45-48, that kind of territory as well, which is kind of scary. But
yeah, no, him throwing 6. Oh, man, him ruining those drives where they probably should have points ruined my fantasy team. I think I lost by 8 this week. And he threw 3 picks, and one of them was in the red zone. That's a lot of points that is left on the table there.
Yeah, some big swings for you too, right? So
yeah.
All right, moving along. The Bills beat the Jets 18-10. The Jets actually had a lead at halftime, which is more surprising than not. The Bills death by field goal for the second time in 2 weeks. A team who did not score a touchdown has won. The Denver Broncos being that last week, but the Bills, I think it's a little bit. It's time to worry and get concerned here, just because they struggled against the Jets' defense that hasn't been particularly good this year. They really showed up at the second half, though. They shut down Sam Darnold and his limited weapons, I would say. But I still think there's reason to be concerned about the Bills.
Oh, for sure. They're it's so frustrating being a fan of them sometimes. The the defense figured it out. Like the Bills' defense figured it out because they were not playing well at the start of that game. But it is the Jets, so you should have figured it out. And then the offense, I don't know. It was just like they had like 10 trips to the red zone and didn't get one touchdown, which is cause for concern. Mind you, I saw a stat today. They're like in their red zone offense against the Jets this year is like 3 for 13, and their red zone offense against anybody else is like 13 for 14. So maybe it's a Jets thing, but
For whatever reason, it always seems like the Bills and the Jets always play the game close.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it's a
just
division
because
game,
I don't know
right?
if it's division game, right? But still, I think in this kind of game where the Jets have literally nothing to play for at this point, Adam Gase is coaching to lose his job at this point,
Yeah, I don't
and
understand that guy.
I think this has to be more of a statement game. So I think the Bills will probably win the AFC East just based on the rest of the division, but I think there's a lot of question marks surrounding them right now.
Yeah, they're struggling through injuries right now, but they're not. The injuries aren't getting better anytime soon. Like John Brown's been out for a while, and his loss is like so clear that like they don't have that deep threat, and it's a little bit easier for defenses now to manage it. And then Trey White's been battling injuries. Milano's been in and out of the lineup, so it's a lot of injuries. Levi Wallace is on IR. Josh Norman's out too.
I think one of the differences too is that Josh Allen really stepped up earlier in the year, like the first 4 games,
Yeah, and he hasn't.
and lately he's kind of come back to earth a little bit. So maybe
Well,
the maybe the MVP designations at the beginning of the year were a little bit overhyped.
oh yeah, it was a little. It's all fun, but I think the thing with him was like he's technically like he's a dual threat quarterback too, but they just stopped running with him. So like in weeks like 3, 4, 5, 6, he didn't run like that much, and
Yeah,
he ran a lot more against the Jets. I think he needs to get back to doing it a little bit more because it keeps the defense a little more honest, which then opens up more passing opportunities. I don't know.
yeah. I think you saw that with the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Whenever the Cardinals drop back into man coverage, the Seahawks or Russell will just take off and he
Yeah.
torched them for a ton of yards with his legs. So maybe if the Bills can kind of get him into the more of those situations. Now I don't know how much of it's the play calling or his decision not to run. I guess it's
Well,
not really going to be known, but
yeah, he was a little hurt last couple weeks with his left shoulder, so that might have been why. But that's why you slide.
that's fair. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he doesn't really like the slide though.
No, he just likes to hit people, which is
He prefers going up and
it's
over.
fun when he succeeds, but when he takes the hit, it's scary.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'll move on to the Steelers and the Titans. Now, this was a great game too. It started out the Steelers jumped out to a big lead. I'm pretty sure it was like 24-7 at halftime. But the Titans roared back. Just one thing to note in this game is that the Steelers actually did shut down Derrick Henry, so it was a lot of Tannehill's arm getting them back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But Stephen Gostkowski missed a field goal at the end to send them to overtime. And interestingly enough, all of Gostkowski's field goals he's missed have been from under 50 yards. He's actually connected on all five from beyond 50 yards. So that's rather interesting. But what do you think about this one?
No, it was a good game. I didn't watch it, so I was watching like the Bills and then doing homework after. So I did see the highlights. Um, the Gostowski situation is weird because he's been like so consistent for the last whatever years, and he's just not really. I don't know. Something's just not clicking for him right now, which I guess sucks for the Titans because you think you tie that game there. But
It's weird. It's,
how she
it's like
goes
the
with them.
classic Belichick where you get rid of him like 1 year before he starts like really falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
He does it with so many guys, and you just look at him now. I mean, he's been consistent for so long, but I mean, he is getting older, and it just kind of inherently happens to kickers.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird
I
that
think the
it's his accuracy,
Steelers.
though, right?
Oh yeah, I know. It's the accuracy and not the distance, which I really don't understand either. But
Yeah.
kickers are kind of like goalies in hockey. They're weird.
Yeah. But no, it was, two undefeated teams going into it, so you knew it was always going to be a good game. But I don't know.
Yeah. I think the Steelers are pretty legit.
Oh, yeah.
The defense clearly. I mean, they shut down Derrick Henry. There's not much more you can ask for of the defense, and I mean, Chase Claypool wasn't involved this week, but it was Deontay Johnson that stepped up. Smith-Schuster's always going to grab a lot of attention, and the offense just has so many weapons for Roethlisberger.
That's the thing. They have a ton of weapons, running the ball and throwing the ball, and the defense was always good. They were always going to be good. They were good last year. What I don't understand is like they almost made the playoffs playing with their second and third string quarterbacks all of last year, and what were they, like a tiebreaker out basically? That's how it ended last year.
Yeah, basically.
And they're getting Ben back, and there was questions like, oh, he might not be the old Ben, but he's probably better than Mason Rudolph. So I don't know why there was so many questions about the Steelers this year before the year started.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like,
I mean, coming off elbow surgery, I can see why there's cause for concern, but I mean, an average Ben Roethlisberger.
That's the thing. Like, he's still better than what they had last year, and all you needed last year was one more win or like a few more points. To the point of, I don't know what the tiebreaker they lost on was, but they lost on a tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly.
They were always going to be competitive, so I didn't understand the concern. I also don't understand the shock that they're playing as well as they are.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think there's a shock. I think there's a big test coming up this week with the Ravens. The 6-0 Steelers are currently underdogs. We'll see which team's legit with this game, I guess.
Yeah, mind you though, like right now I'm looking at the Ravens are only favored by 3.5, and the Ravens are the home team, so it's pretty even.
Basically,
think about it. So yeah,
right.
definitely the game of the week.
Yeah, it's definitely the game of the week, one to watch next week for sure. The Falcons are doing the classic Atlanta, and
that was so funny.
They blew another lead that when they had like a 99% chance of winning to the Lions. Basically, Todd Gurley decided to go in the end zone when he probably shouldn't have. They were down. I'm pretty sure they were down by 2 when they could have just kicked the field goal.
I think they were tied because they went for 2 and they didn't get it. I think. Well, I'll just open the box score.
They went for 2 and didn't get it because that would have forced the Lions out.
They were.
Yeah, they would have forced the Lions.
No, you're right. Yeah, they were down by 2.
Score game.
They were down by 2.
Yeah. Yeah, going for 2 was the right call, even though they missed.
No, I just couldn't remember if it was tied or if they were down. I couldn't remember if they got.
It's so funny, just because Todd Gurley did that so many times with the Rams. Like he did it notably a couple times, and people are upset for fantasy points. But this is the most like Atlanta Falcons thing.
Yeah, he screwed my. I played against him in fantasy this week. Fucking asshole! Like, come on, man. 6 points, and Russell Wilson throws one of his 3 picks, and I win this week, and we're laughing. But no, we're on a 4-game losing streak. So, no, I think it's funny that they lost, and I also think. Did you watch it at all?
I watched the ending. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched the end. Next Gen Stats had the Lions at 4% chance at winning, and they had the ball on the 10.
On the last play.
Like, are you really giving them a 4% chance to get a touchdown from the 10? Like, it's not. It's probably not even 50-50, but 4% seems pretty harsh.
Yeah, I thought the 4% was a really low. I mean, there's no way Atlanta had a 96% chance of winning when the other teams got the ball at the 10. Yeah, I understand they need a touchdown, but like
there was one play.
How many times does a pass interference call happen there, and then the Lions will just get the ball to 1?
Yeah, or how many times does Matt Stafford, who's actually not bad at football, can make a play? Like, it was 10 yards. I don't know. 4% pissed me off when I saw that.
Yeah, it seems way too low. I don't know. I don't know if they just had like an error in the stats or something.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like
think
that just seems wrong to me as too. All right, another good game this week. There's a lot of good close games. The Browns edged out the Bengals 37-34. Thank you for the Browns.
Hell yeah, I missed the extra point.
Missing the extra point to cover the 3.5.
Had the Bengals at 3.5, and we take those.
Oh yeah, we take those. There'll be enough against it where we take those.
Yeah, we've been on the wrong side of shit like that way more than we're on the good side, so we take them when we get them. I don't know. I didn't watch this game. I guess the big news is Odell getting hurt though.
Yeah, and there's been such like a public outcry. I actually wanted to bring this up. There's been such a public outcry with OBJ getting hurt, tearing his ACL. Oh, like get back or whatever. I don't understand what the big deal is. Like this guy he's probably a really good receiver, but his stats don't like show it. He's like an average receiver at this point. He's 28. He's going to be coming back when he's 29, which is starting to definitely be the back nine of his career, especially when he relies on his speed so much. But this guy has been so polarizing and like, I want to say like, what's the word I'm looking for? I think polarizing is definitely the word, but he's been like kind of like a locker room cancer at times with the Giants, and I'm just surprised at all the public love for it.
Yeah, like obviously you never want to see anyone get hurt, so I understand that people like kind of support him.
Yeah, I understand that too.
But like outside of that, like the fact that people are saying, "Oh, it's a huge loss," like I don't know if it's a huge loss for them. Like his stats haven't been great.
They don't throw the ball that much.
That's the thing. Like Baker's not good when he has to throw the ball 40 times. So you have other weapons you can throw to. They'll find a way through it. I think I don't know. I don't think Baker's very good, but that's just me.
You definitely came up with a big game here, though it is against the Bengals.
Yeah, and he's in the. If you follow NFL memes, it's the Baker Mayfield cycle, and it's like plays a good game, calls out haters, plays bad game, underdog mentality, and it's just like a cycle that's never ending. And I don't know. They post every once in a while.
Whenever they play a good team, they can't win.
Yeah,
it's happened the week before against Pittsburgh. They got killed. So. All right.
Oh, the thing with Odell, there's a lot of talk. Like, I don't know. I don't watch him enough to say whether it's right or wrong. A lot of people think he's just like overhyped because he's made some nice catches in his career. Like he's not really a number one. He just kind of gets treated as one because of some highlight plays. I don't know if I agree with that, but there's definitely some truth to it. Like he seems to disappoint a lot, so maybe the expectations have just always been too high.
Yeah, and I don't think he's particularly played with that great quarterback.
That's the other thing.
A lot of these receivers have. Like, you look at a guy like Julio Jones. Matt Ryan was like MVP when
went to the Super Bowl,
he got in the league, went to the Super Bowl. Like, and that's just an example that came off the top of my head. Even if you look at a guy like Keenan Allen, he played with Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was great. At one time. Now it's a little bit more of a question mark. But like,
he definitely doesn't have the help. So I understand it.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw something where him and Odell and Landry should request a trade just to get a better quarterback. But I don't know about that decision. But
yeah, I don't know. You just get a new quarterback if that's the problem. Like,
yep. Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure the Browns are going to stick with Mayfield, though. I mean, like he's had 3 or 4 coaches in the last 4 years.
They'll pick up his 5th-year option, and if he stinks after the contract's done, they just won't sign him.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens there. The Panthers and the Saints. This game was kind of as expected, I would think. I thought the Saints were a little bit overpriced with the -7.5. I thought that was way too many, especially because they're missing. Especially because they're missing Sanders and Thomas, and old man Breeze did not throw a pass of more than 20 yards.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Panthers, Joey Sly missed a 65-yard field goal at the end of the game. I understand that's a long kick, but man, that would have been a good story going into overtime for them.
Yeah.
I think the Saints aren't as good as people think.
I too think that.
But they always seem to just eke out wins lately. So you can't argue the fact that they're winning. But I think if they have to play the Bucks or like the Packers again, I just don't see them competing.
They're going to do the same thing they do every year. They'll have a nice regular season record, and then they won't go very far in the playoffs. Or they won't go to the Super Bowl, which is pretty much their goal when you have Drew Brees. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean Breeze, I think, is probably done this year or next year. He just doesn't have the arm strength. He really doesn't.
He doesn't have Captain Checkdown playing right now either. So
yeah, I'd be curious to see what happens when the Saints actually have to play from behind. If Breeze can kind of stretch the field a little bit because he just hasn't really had to do that this year too much. So it'll just be interesting to see. Just moving right along, I think the Dallas Cowboys are officially done for the year.
They were officially done last week. They suck.
I think they really proved it this week. They looked very uninspired against the Washington football team.
Not surprising.
Say what you want. They have their rookie 7th round quarterback in for like the second half of the game, but they weren't doing anything with Andy Dalton. The score was
they had
42-3 when Andy Dalton came out of the game. The one thing that I kind of noticed is that when Andy Dalton got killed for his concussion,
that was a bad hit.
Nobody on Dallas really stepped up to like defend him.
Because their locker room's a cancer right now, man. Like their coaches are calling out the players are calling out the coaches. It's just a disaster. I would imagine that no one really likes
if that was my teammate, though, I think he'd step up for him. Like, you call it selfish or whatnot. He's your quarterback. He's supposed to step up, especially him. You're supposed to step up for the quarterback, right?
That's true. You might have maybe not seen as much because the refs kind of took care of it pretty quick. Like, the flags were thrown and the guy was ejected, so. It's not like it was a it's not like it was a heated game either. I don't know.
It still seems like Washington's given up. Like Zeke's mediocre at best right now, and these guys just seem uninspired. And especially when you can't get the ball to a guy like CeeDee Lamb, he had 1 rush for 1 yard against Washington, and that's it.
Yeah, no, they're not.
That's a real issue.
They're not good. That's why we picked against them last week, and that's why we picked against them again this week. And it was pretty easy both times. When we picked we picked the Cardinals at -2 last week, and it was a blowout. We picked the football team at +1 this week, and it was a blowout.
I mean, they are the football team. Mind you, that screw back from a few weeks ago with the football team that win the division actually doesn't look that bad right now.
It doesn't look bad. Cowboys are what's the division look like right now? Isn't everybody 2-5?
No, the Eagles are 2-4-1, and then the Giants are 1-6.
That's so bad. Team's gonna win this division with 4 wins. It's actually gonna be so bad.
Potentially.
Oh my god. Home play. I mean, I guess home advantage doesn't matter that much this year, but holy shit.
Yeah. All right. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh shit, we all have games left.
Much to nobody's surprise, had a big bounce back week. Just ripped up the Texans. Not too much of a surprise here.
No, not at all. Packers win. Texans still stuck.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
I think Brady and co though lit up the Raiders 45-20. Also had the Bucks this week, which was very nice.
Catch in. Thanks for coming.
That team is scary now. I think Brady's kind of got it figured out. Gronk's kind of got it figured out now. They added Antonio Brown this week, so he adds another dynamic to them.
He might not be able to play this week. He has to be reinstated because he's technically suspended, but still.
Yeah, he's not back this week, but the week after.
Yeah.
This team is very good. I could even see them running the table the rest of the way. The defense is formidable, and if Brady can sustain this kind of level that he's playing at right now, which I don't see any reason why he can't, and the skill corp remains healthy, it's going to be really hard to stop these guys because it's the first time in a while Brady's had some actual weapons to throw to.
Yeah, and he's got really good weapons. He's got really good weapons.
I mean, when you have Godwin, Evans, Fournette, Ron Jones running guys over, you got Gronk, even guy like the role guys like Scotty Miller and Cameron Brate. this team's a tough matchup for anybody.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah.
I definitely like them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. Niners, Pats.
The Chiefs.
Oh, Chiefs, Broncos.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah, the Chiefs pretty much rolled over the Broncos. Not too much of a surprise here, just because the Broncos haven't been very good this year, even though they were everybody's kind of dark horse pick.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs kind of just showed that they're Super Bowl champs for a reason.
Yeah, no, that game was never close. Like, I mean, I guess it was close when it started, but it's never really going to be. The Broncos are never winning that game.
No, I agree. I guess the real game of topic in the late slate there was the Niners and the Pats.
Oh God, Pats got dummied.
The Pats are kind of concerning. It's 3 weeks in a row now where they've looked not great. Even the defense hasn't looked that great either. Cam looks horrible, and that offense looks horrible.
Yep.
What do you think about their chances here the rest of the year?
I hope they suck. I hope they don't win a game. I hope they suck. I hope Cam Newton plays all right because I like Cam Newton, but I hope the team sucks. But no, they don't look good. Cam Newton started out the season all right, but they just don't look good anymore.
Yeah, I mean, play the Bills next week. I think that'll be a good measuring stick game for them. If they could win that, I think that's kind of like, oh, okay, they're back on track sort of thing. Bills blow them out though. I think that's probably the season for them.
Fire up the parade. Patriots are done.
I just think Belichick. I mean, he's got like a bunch of holes on his defense, just because guys opted out because of COVID.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys out.
And there's only so much a good coach can do if there's not competent players in the field, right? So I also don't think they can bounce back from this. Cam, if he plays this way the rest of the year, there's no chance he's getting another contract, in my opinion.
Which is unfortunate because there's so many shit quarterbacks in the NFL compared to him.
Yeah, I know.
And he brings
it seems like it at least.
He brings experience and he's won before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree. He's been MVP at one point.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's still got it. It's in there somewhere. Just Jags and Chargers, just kind of mentioning them just to clean up here.
Yeah, too bad defense going at it.
Justin Herbert looked pretty good, though. He's like another week, another great performance from Justin Herbert.
Yeah, they found
guy looks legit.
Yeah, I think they found a good quarterback in him.
I think the Chargers can go on a little bit of a run here, actually. The defense isn't horrible, so I mean it's not great, but it's not horrible.
What's their record right now? They're 2-4.
2-4, yeah. They've lost a lot of close games, so I think if they can get a couple bounces their way, Michael Badgley makes a kick once in a while. I think they can make a good run at the playoffs. Probably not too much, just given the fact they have a rookie quarterback. But I think in the years to come here a little bit, he's a nice piece to build around.
That's true. Their point differential is only -5.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've played in some close games.
You look at the Browns are 5-2. They're -21. The Bills are 5-2. They're -4.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, they're not playing bad. Just unfortunate the way it's kind of gone for them.
And just the last game to round up here, the Bears and the Rams. I don't really know how to make of this game too much. I think the Bears are probably the most fraudulent 5-1 record in a while.
I forgot that they were 5-1. I was quite surprised when I found out.
I do have to admit the Rams have a good defense, but still.
Yeah, I do.
The Bears just don't really have a good offense. I think the Rams are kind of... This is a big game for them, too. Just because all of their wins have been against NFC East opponents. That's not exactly the greatest resume builder there, but they made a statement here.
Yeah, it put them in a playoff spot. But yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, I definitely think that NFC West, they're gonna have to win every game they can in order to compete. Like that division, I think, is easily the best in football with the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Rams. I think there's potential for all four of those teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that division is like definitely the strongest on paper. So four is tough just because like the way the scheduling works, is they all have to play each other. But they're definitely all
Yeah,
good enough.
if you go 1-1 against each other, it's not like that.
Yeah.
Or I guess like 2-1, 1-2 sort of thing. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the Niners are the only ones not in a playoff spot, and they're a game back. So
Yeah, exactly. Could very easily sneak in there.
yeah.
All right, that really pretty much wraps up our NFL for the week. The thing we wanted to talk about was Champions League,
Hmm.
and just to recap some stuff from the last match day, the second day last match day, just because we recorded before these games were played. Um, the one big game that kind of stood out for an upset was Shakhtar Donetsk takes down Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. So, what did you think here?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Madrid, so I kind of like that they lost. They just didn't play well. Like, I don't think they're a bad team, but
Definitely not.
like they started out 3-0 down, and then Shakhtar kind of let up a little bit. They came back. They did tie it, but was called back for offside. What do you think?
I did want to bring up that goal too. I find it so frustrating watching soccer games and seeing the strikers being so fucking lazy, standing
Yep.
offside like that, and I
Well,
feel like it happens so much where the team, like even when the plays going the other way, when the other team or when the defending team intercepts it and they have a chance for transition, but that striker's not in an onside position, and the midfielder has nowhere to go with it now, and if they obviously if they pass it up, it's offside. But like, I would think these strikers would make more of an effort to get back on side, and especially like this goal here. I understand there was a lot of more of like a bang bang play to get to like where the shot was coming from, but there's no reason for you to be offside. And if you're like 4 yards to the left or to the right, the you don't influence the play at all, and it's not offside.
yeah, no, he's standing still. He's ball watching. It was like you cost your team the point there basically with that.
Oh, for sure.
Um, Also, just get on side. Like, know what you're doing. You're essentially making yourself useless when you're not in the onside position. So I don't know. Get on side. Don't be lazy. Game's almost over. Like you can't be that tired.
Yeah,
Not like you need to preserve your energy for anything. And they didn't win today either. I know we're talking about last week, but like
yeah.
they tied today. Mönchengladbach is not like they're all
They're
right.
not world beaters, but I have to admit they have a reputation for being like a pretty intelligent team. They kind of knew how they had to play against Madrid, which was obviously to counter and stretch the field that way. And
Yeah,
they played that style. They played pretty well. I mean, they kind of broke at the end. Madrid scored 2 goals in the last 87th minute and beyond.
yeah.
I think that's just Madrid, just that they're just a better team.
Well, that's
They
the
just
thing.
have more
They are,
skill, but
they are a better
maybe the
team.
tactics have to come into question
Yeah, I don't like Zidane. I don't think he's really that good. Like they won those like I don't know. They won those Champions Leagues, and like, when you get down to the knockout stages, anyone can really win. And when you have one of the best rosters assembled in the last 10 years, then you're
You should
probably
win.
going to win. Like your players are going to find a way to figure it out, even if your tactics stink. And they didn't win in La Liga. Like I know they won last year, but that was more a Barcelona choke job than them succeeding.
Yeah.
But the other years Zidane was there, they didn't win La Liga. It wasn't really even close some of those years. So I don't know.
I think Madrid's a weird team to get a read on right now. Obviously, they have the roster with the talent, but like you lose to Shakhtar, you come back, you win El Clasico. Obviously, that's a big statement win for them. Um, and then they come back and they lay an egg here against Gladbach. It's it's just it's a roller coaster for them right now.
Yeah, they're like I don't know. Their team on paper is all right. I think that they have players on their roster that get way more credit than they deserve. Like I don't think Asensio's that great. I don't think Vinicius is good at all, or Rodrigo. Benzema's kind of past it in my mind. It also doesn't help that he doesn't have the surface of Ronaldo that he used to get. Um, Their midfield's getting old and past it. Like they still run with Cruz and Modric. I don't know.
Yeah, they're
Valverde's
more of like
a nice piece, but
yeah, they're more of like slow the game down sort of players. So
yeah. Mind you, I do have to correct myself from earlier. Real Madrid did win one La Liga under Zidane,
uh,
but the other
that's
years
fine.
it was all Barcelona. I don't know.
We'll
I don't like
we'll
it.
let the slip up go this time.
Yeah.
Not too many other like really surprising results. Atalanta and Ajax, I think might have been the 2-2 draw today. Might have been a little bit surprising. Ajax actually went out to the 2-0 lead. I think they just carried some momentum over from their 13-0
Yeah.
drumming
Absolute cheek clapping.
in their
That was
league game.
brutal. No, I watched that game. That was good. It was back and forth the whole time.
Yeah,
Atalanta's a
I
good
could
team. They score a
imagine.
lot, so
Yeah, I can say I just imagine from Atalanta's play style that's how that game would be.
yeah.
And I guess Shakhtar and Inter being a 0-0 draw. I think a lot of people saw a lot
I
of goals
forgot
in
that
this
that game
one,
was on.
but I think Inter having to travel to Ukraine might have had something to do with this. I mean, you go there, get a point. I mean, it's not like the worst result, but obviously you want to come out with 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, you take your point. I guess they haven't. They're two ties. It's very early, so
Especially with Madrid losing the first 2 games, that group is wide open.
yeah. Because you got to think like Madrid's probably come back, um, but you never know. They've
They
dropped
they,
five
they
points
play
already,
Inter though,
so
and Inter can really kill them.
yeah. I mean, if they didn't beat Mönchengladbach or Shakhtar, I'm not necessarily going to say that Inter is a pushover either.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, and it's funny today too. Bayern got a little bit of a scare from Lokomotiv Moscow in Russia. So I mean, maybe the travel had a little bit of an effect on their game as well. But I mean, the Lokomotiv played them tight. I think it shows that even like these big name clubs who have these really skilled players, when they have to travel to these like I don't want to say remote part places of the world, but like they have to make those bigger trips. Um,
Yeah,
it
they're
definitely
not
takes a
used to it,
toll on
right?
them. Sorry.
Because they're not used to it. They don't like
Yeah.
when you're traveling within your country, especially when it's like like
Germany.
Germany, like European countries aren't big,
Right.
so I don't know. Like I guess they should be used to it playing in Champions League all these years, but you're not always traveling to Russia. So
Yeah, for sure. And so tomorrow's games, got a couple of good games like that are kind of even. I think the one game that's going to kind of stand out to everybody is Juventus and Barcelona, just with the Messi Ronaldo narrative. They're kind of
yeah,
like the old guard at this point, but it's always
Messi's
nice to see
or
the rivalry renewed.
not Messi, but Ronaldo's not playing tomorrow because he tested
Oh, he's not
positive.
playing now.
Yeah, he still
Oh,
got
okay.
COVID, so
I,
which
I, I
sucks
knew
because
there
I
was
was
a
looking
chance he
for
could play.
people were looking forward to that, which like for obvious reasons. So
To
it's
be fair,
unfortunate.
there will be hopefully if he can if both of them can get some negative tests in, there'll be the
Yeah,
game
the
in
next time they
Spain,
play.
right, in Barcelona. So I think that'll be the good matchup there. I also like this Man United and Leipzig game. I think it's going to be good as well.
I think so
Leipzig's been
too.
Leipzig's been hot in Bundesliga, so I think, and especially with the way Man U plays, like sometimes they come out they beat PSG, and then other times they'll come out really flat.
They
So
suck. Yeah, no, I think that's well. I'm biased because I'm a Man U fan, but outside of Juventus Barcelona, that's my favorite game of the day.
oh,
Um,
definitely.
there is an interesting game here between Dynamo Kiev and the team that I can't pronounce, nor do I know what country they're from. Um, Ferenc Karosi. Yeah, I botched that.
Ferenc Varos.
Yeah,
I,
I don't
I,
know.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think I don't know if Kiev's getting like disrespected a little bit just because I don't know a lot about the other team. But if they're anything like Shakhtar, I think they'll give them a good run.
I don't know anything about the other team, so I can't really say anything about that.
All right, so I think we're just going to move on to the screw it bets here. And just before we do, he's got an ad read from Viget. Viget is the first social network for sports fans and sports bettors. The Viget mobile platform allows people to get skin in the game without risking real money. Over 17,000 users currently allows fans to compete head to head with their friends while following their favorite teams and industry insiders with access to odds, scores, and statistics all in one central location. There's great information available like line movements and where the public money is. And this week on Twitter, I guess it was today though, they were showing stats about away teams covering in football, the home teams and how poor they've been, the over and unders. So there's a ton of great information on here. And you can always find the Ramblin and Gamblin crew on the Viget app for all of our picks. So download with promo code RNG20 and receive 1,000 coins. And did I forget to mention? It's free. That again is the Viget app, promo code RNG20 to receive 1,000 coins available on the App Store or the Google Play Store. Oh, I think that was my worst one yet.
No transition into it. Just all right.
No, I know. I couldn't fit it in. The juices aren't flowing as much today.
No. All right, screw it bet. Quick and easy. I'm picking Lokomotiv Moscow at against Atletico next week in the Champions League. Our friends at Sports Interaction have them at 5.2 to 1 odds, which I think is pretty good. It's in Russia, and we can kind of just talk about travel into Russia is not necessarily easy. Atletico hasn't really impressed me that much, and you're getting 5.2 to 1 odds. So
yeah, I think especially to like Lokomotiv, they had they scared Bayern today, basically, right? So
yeah, and Bayern absolutely slapped Atletico last week. So
yeah, exactly. So I think it actually leads to be a good game. I think I would look more on the win draw as well.
Yeah,
for more of like a safer bet. Mind you, this
might
is
get
screw
some
it
good odds
bets,
there.
so maybe hedge it a little
no
bit.
safe bets here.
I'm also looking at Champions League as well. But I'm looking on November 4th. Now, there isn't a ton of information out for the odds on these ones yet.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything.
I'm thinking you're going to get some very good odds on a few teams here. The first one I'm looking at is Zenit, St. Petersburg.
Yep.
Who are they up against here?
Lazio.
Yes, they're up against Lazio. Sorry. And I think, especially because this game's in St. Petersburg and Lazio having to travel, Zenit's a really good team in Russia. Like they kill that league every year. So I really think they have a good chance to upset there. Now the odds I don't think are going to be as good as the Lokomotiv one, but I think that's a really good chance for an upset at least, because I think Lazio will probably be like a favorite around 2 to 1, and you could probably get about 3 and change. That's my guess for Zenit.
Well, I know this week you're getting, like, if you take Zenit against Dortmund, you're getting them at 7.5.
Yeah.
So you might get them, like, you might even get them around 5 next week.
Exactly. Anywhere from like 3 to 5, I think that's good, and especially because of the home team. Mm-hmm. Another few games I liked here was Rennes against Chelsea. Chelsea's just been struggling a lot. Rennes is they're a pretty good team in France, so I think they have a chance to at least scare Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I like Brugge as well against Dortmund. I just think these big name teams just draw a lot of public money just because they have the big name. They probably have good or better odds with them. So somebody's gonna go, screw it. Like they just throw them on a parlay sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think Brugge too is going to be is the home team there. I think RB Leipzig as well is going to be underdogs to PSG.
They're going to be. I think they're going to be heavy underdogs because Man U was underdogs to PSG by a little bit, and Leipzig's underdogs to Man U.
Exactly.
It's in Germany.
And I got actually the last one. If you're really looking to be risky, Istanbul, Basak. Here, I don't know.
Good luck.
Against Man U, I think just Man U, just because of the volatility and the way they play. If they field a inferior lineup than they normally do, I think Istanbul can give them a little bit of a scare, especially because they have to travel as well.
Yeah, it's in Turkey. You might get 10 to 1 odds on that too.
Exactly. So I think it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle.
What's PSG getting tomorrow? They're 11.5 against PSG tomorrow. So yeah, I don't think 10's really out of the question.
No, definitely not. Okay. I think
All
that's all
right.
we have for this week. Be sure
Yeah.
to be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Hammer It Bets, and be sure to follow all the Ramblin and Gamblin crew.